The man who built a legend on silence just shattered it, and Hollywood felt the shockwave. Clint Eastwood doesn't talk. He acts, he directs, he allows silence to do the work. So when Clint Eastwood speaks, it carries weight. To stay updated on stories of this significance, consider subscribing. For more than 6 decades, he has remained the ultimate anti-celebrity, private, restrained, and untouchable. From Dirty Harry to Unforgiven, from Western icon to Academy Award-winning director, he never slowed down. Not at 70, not at 80, not even now. Still working, still directing, still resisting retirement. But recently something changed. Clint spoke about aging, legacy, and the art of letting go. A legend confronting time. A myth revealing the man. This isn't just news, it's a turning point. The man who never says anything just said everything. Let's be real, Clint Eastwood has never been one to talk. He never needed to. Silence was the brand. The narrowed eyes, the long pauses, the confidence to let a moment sit instead of drowning it in words. While Hollywood chased attention, Clint built a legend by doing the opposite. No oversharing, no public confessions, no playing the celebrity game. That's exactly why this matters. When Clint Eastwood speaks about something personal, you stop and listen. For decades, reporters and fans tried to get closer, to pull back the curtain, to hear anything about the man behind the myth, and every time, he shut the door. His relationship stayed private, his family stayed protected, his beliefs stayed buried under calm professionalism. Always present, yet somehow unreachable. But now, something has shifted. Clint Eastwood has finally broken his silence, and what he shared is shocking enough to change how we see him forever. A legacy that won't quit. Clint Eastwood is not merely a legend, he is a rarity. His presence did not diminish with time, it sharpened into purpose. He began as a modest television actor on Rawhide, rose to international fame through Sergio Leone's westerns, and became an era-defining icon with Dirty Harry. When many believed his momentum had peaked, Eastwood reinvented himself behind the camera, emerging as one of Hollywood's most respected directors. Unforgiven, Million Dollar Baby, Gran Torino, Mystic River, and American Sniper are not simply films. They are profound statements confronting aging, justice, regret, mortality, and redemption without compromise. Most remarkably, he never stopped. After completing Juror Number 2, widely assumed to be his final film, Eastwood continues forward, already in pre-production on another project, still working, still driven, still unwilling to step away. The announcement that changed everything. What makes this moment hit so hard, what makes it truly shocking, is how honest Clint Eastwood finally allowed himself to be. In a handful of rare interviews and public remarks, Clint spoke about something he had always kept to himself. What it actually feels like to grow old in an industry obsessed with youth. He didn't dress it up. He talked about the weight of it, the quiet battle of watching your body change, feeling your hands lose steadiness, and realizing your mind doesn't always move the way it once did. The time comes for all of us when we have to reflect on what's been accomplished, what's been left undone, and what the future holds, he said. It's a lot to carry, and sometimes it's just time to let go of the things that were once so important. That doesn't sound like the Clint Eastwood we've known for 6 decades. That's not a character. That's a man facing his own mortality in real time, out in the open, with no role to hide behind. And for someone who built his career playing unbreakable men against impossible odds, seeing him admit vulnerability feels almost unreal. It peels back the legend and leaves the human underneath. Because even icons get tired. Even Clint Eastwood questions himself, and even the man with no name sometimes wonders if he's still the right man for the job. Why this matters more than you think. This is why what Clint Eastwood just said is so shocking. It quietly flips the script on how Hollywood talks about aging. This industry runs on youth. Directors are supposed to peak, then slowly vanish. Stars get swapped out for younger faces. Studios chase trends, short attention spans, and whatever feels new, while anything tied to the past gets pushed aside. Clint has never played by those rules. Even while acknowledging the weight of time, he keeps showing up. He's still directing. Still pushing for original stories in an era drowned in remakes and franchises. Year after year, he's proven that aging doesn't mean disappearing just because the calendar says so. But here's the shift. His recent words hint at something we've never really heard from him before. He talked about legacy, about knowing when to pass the torch, about wondering if it might be time to step back. For the first time, Clint Eastwood didn't sound like a man refusing the end. He sounded like someone calmly recognizing that the race isn't finished, but it may be moving into a different chapter. The unspoken question. What Clint didn't say may be even more unsettling than what he did. Is he getting ready to retire? Is there something going on with his health that we don't know about? Is he simply ready to step aside and let younger directors take their turn? Or is this his quiet way of preparing everyone for a final goodbye? No one really knows, and that's exactly how Clint Eastwood operates. He's not spelling out the ending. He's just signaling that the third act has begun and that we should probably be paying close attention. The truth is, Clint may be facing something very few people ever do. Figuring out when to hand over the keys while still feeling capable, creative, and very much alive. What happens to Hollywood without him? This is the question that quietly keeps people in the industry awake at night. What does cinema look like if Clint Eastwood actually steps away? At a time when studios approve almost nothing but sequels and reboots, when algorithms decide what gets made and shareholders care more about franchises than stories, Clint has stood apart. He's remained one of the last filmmakers consistently backing original, character-driven movies. Just by continuing to work, he's been pushing back against the factory line version of storytelling Hollywood has become. If he leaves, something truly irreplaceable goes with him. Yes, there are talented directors working today, but there's no one else like Clint. No one with his mix of box office power, critical respect, creative freedom, and the authority to make exactly the film he believes in, without compromise. The thought of Hollywood without Clint Eastwood behind the camera isn't just sad. It's deeply unsettling for anyone who still believes in what movies are supposed to be. The bigger truth. What's shocking about Clint Eastwood speaking up isn't what he said. It's that he said anything at all. For 60 years, Clint let his work speak. Films, characters, stories, that was his voice. He never explained himself or opened the door to his private thoughts. Now that silence has cracked. And in doing so, he's admitting something powerful. Even the strongest men feel the weight of time. In a world obsessed with non-stop hustle and manufactured vulnerability, Clint's honesty feels rare and real. He's saying it's okay to be tired, okay to question the road behind you. For the first time, the legend sees the finish line. And that changes everything.